Yeah.
Right, and then Gina Marie is just
I think that Gina Marie could have came off a lot better if she didn't get sucked into what Caitlin referred to as the black hole of cattiness. And she, and, you know,
well, it's got to be black.
I have all the dirt from the live feed.
I never joke about Big Brother unless you're a floater in the game.
Hey everybody, and welcome to our Week 2 Big Brother recap show. And guess what? We're being joined by Rachel Riley. So since we have so much to get to, I'm going to save all the announcements, giveaway, prizes and stuff for the end of the episode, so make sure you stick around to that. Let's just get right into it. You know the deal. You can follow me over at Twitter. I'm at Reality Recaps.
Hey, it's John Richardson from Seattle. Follow me on Twitter at Comedy Jonah.
Hey, you guys, it's Michelle from the Bronx here. You can find me at You Got Bronx on Twitter.
Hey guys, it's Rachel.
And Brendon.
Brenchel, yay! And you guys should follow us on Twitter. It's at Rachel E. Riley.
And at Brendon VBB12. Still keeping it real.
All right, so we need to talk Week 2 of Big Brother because Team Elissa was saved yet again.
Oh my god! Was this not the craziest week ever? Like, I was freaking out. Like, so when Elissa somehow, like, magic, Big Brothered, like, epic somehow pulled this together and was able to save herself this past week, I was, like, so excited. I was seriously like, Brendon and I were dying because we were both on the couch like, oh my god, this is really gonna happen. And then like we felt like we were playing the game. When Helen won HOH, seriously, I jumped up and down and screamed. I felt like I was gonna cry, like I was overly emotional.
Yeah,
Seriously, I will say for all of us gays, John, myself, and I believe you said you did as well, Michelle, I felt like a straight person at a sports game because for the first time in my life, I was standing up cheering for us. I was so excited.
It's so exciting, right? I couldn't believe that they won.
No.
Finally! Put those people in their place.
It came down to actually Judd getting Jess. So actually Judd saved everything for that week. And that's amazing, especially coming from a person you can't even understand.
Yeah, oh, Judd. He's so cute. See, my thing is with Judd, he's so adorable and sweet and innocent. Like, that's why I love him so much. But yeah, I feel like if Judd and Jesse hook up, that'll be a really cute showman.
Aw. You want to touch base on the showmances in the house?
Oh my god, there's like 12. I mean, seriously, I think everyone's in a showman.
Yeah, I got one going on with the wall.
we need a showman's diagram.
Okay, I'll get the
That's Elissa's showman. You can't be in a showman's.
I know.
Wait, Brendon, I'm a lesbian. Yes, I can.
Touche.
Oh, yeah. You should have been around for our pre-show talk.
Yeah.
So, and I loved Helen, like, the fact that she went to Gina Marie and was consoling her, even though they were on opposite sides of the house. Helen has been my pick to win after Elissa. this whole time.
Good one, Eric. No, I agree. Like, for me, it's Helen, Candace, and Elissa and Andy are like the best alliance, but also they're my pick to make it really far in this game. I think Howard too. I'm just worried about him now that Helen is being so silly with this HOH as a live feeder. If they had a live feeder anonymous, I would be there because I watch it way too much. But as a live feeder, I've been watching. They want to put Howard on the block. I just think that's so ridiculous.
If we want to disclose what went down on the live feeds, that didn't happen then.
It didn't?
Nope. You want me to tell you what your sister did?
So no, yeah, tell it. We just woke up this morning.
Wait. Spoiler alert.
There you go.
Go ahead, Michelle.
There you go. Nobody conferred with Elissa when they were making the noms, so she didn't know what was going on, and she got called in probably right after Helen and got told that she was the MVP, and she nominated Spencer. and
No,
everything went down in like
Nominate Spencer
You
the
told me
storage room.
this morning.
Yeah.
Wait, so everything.
She's got feeder
I
lag,
said that's what
Brendon.
Elissa wanted to do. I said, but I didn't know that they had the MVP nomination already.
Oh, well.
I think
Maybe.
she acknowledged that she did nominate Spencer, although she was upset, saying, "Why does everybody want me to nominate Howard?" And that
Yeah.
was just a whole bunch of crap that Helen was trying to like misconstrue this and misconstrue that, and then
What is she doing?
Yeah, Helen's starting to spiral into like HOH. I told Rachel, I was like, sometimes people get HOH and the power literally goes to their head,
Mhm.
and they start deciding that they are the #1 game player and know everything that's going on and need to have their fingers in everything. And she's trying to make these crazy alliances that are going to end up
Crazy
screwing
alliances.
herself because she was in a good position, but she starts making all these cross alliances. She's going to get handed.
And what is it with them wanting to work with Aaron? They will
okay,
not.
no, that's a lie. That's a lie. She's like
They
one of their targets, and Helen's just trying to make peace with everything, and she doesn't want to rock the boat too much, but she's just telling everybody to appease them, and, they really want, and that's the whole thing. That's why Elissa was so upset last night, is that she really wants Jeremy and Aaron out. She doesn't care which one of them goes, but she wants one of them out, and that's why she broke down this morning about why everybody was just being, like, so, mean to her, and they're just using her, and, this is what she kind of wanted to do, because the last,
I didn't.
yeah,
God.
yeah,
I didn't know that all this drama went. What time did this go on at? Like 6 a.m.?
yes, yes.
Why are they woke them up really
Oh my
early
God.
today, huh?
Michelle,
No,
you-
that was no. Yes, I got some sleep, and then I got up and I had to do everything and read everything, and I was transcribing right up until I took a shower to get ready for this. It's absolutely insane what's going down, but yeah, last night they were really upset, and Elissa got upset, and then Helen is trying to tell her, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, and now with Spencer being up, and then you have Aaron and Caitlin on the block, will Jeremy or Aaron go home? That's going to be the big thing, and that's what your sister really wants. And every week, the MVP nom went home, and that's what she wants. The only time she really wants it is this week,
Yeah.
and it might not happen.
I think what they need to do is Helen. Do we know who got picked for players yet?
No, they got them up early this morning for an early POV, and they pick the players, and then they'll announce the nom and stuff. So no, we don't.
Hopefully, best case scenario, Spencer or Helen win the POV, and then Spencer pulls himself off, or Helen pulls him off. They put up Jeremy, then the house can vote out Jeremy or Aaron. That's the best case scenario. Even better than that, somehow Big Brother gods do a double eviction, and Jeremy and Aaron both go home this week. That would be the best. But I think that Jeremy will go home, but if Jeremy got picked to play in the veto, he does have a good chance of winning the veto, but nobody will vote out Spencer. If they vote out Spencer, Spencer's not a David or a Nick. He's not like a strong player. He's not like an aggressive player. He's like an Adam,
But Rachel and I agreed that to put up Howard would have been a bad move because
he could go home.
Yeah, if he went home,
they would totally vote Howard out. Easy.
The power swings back to Aaron, Jeremy, and Spencer, and it'll be like nothing really changed.
Right.
From
And I want Howard and Candace to work together with Elissa. And I think Howard and Candace are starting to like each other.
Yes.
And I think that they could really use that. Like, if you could have Helen, Elissa, Andy, Candace, and Howard as their 5-person alliance, and then Judd and Jesse in there, so that's 7 people, they would control the house. And then the side alliance would probably be Elissa and Helen, Candace and Howard, Judd and Jesse. Oh, Andy doesn't have a partner. Well, Andy kind of has all the partners.
Andy has Spencer as his partner.
Oh, really?
Andy's gonna flip flop to wherever he needs to go until
Andy, I feel like Andy's pretty good because he's good with all the twosomes. So if one of the twosomes gets kicked out, Andy will be their other twosome half.
Yeah, but I told Rachel Andy's gonna get himself in trouble because he flip flops so much in that game that
I'm just saying that
word gets back. It's going to get back to somebody at some point.
Yeah, I like Andy. I don't want him to get.
I think this coming up POV is going to be super physical. I don't think production wants to lose Jeremy.
But the problem is, if Jeremy wins, he's dumb enough to pull Caitlyn off the block, so they'll both be safe.
No.
It's fine.
What do you mean dumb enough? I
fine.
recall some person maybe close to you who did pull you off the block.
I know. Well, that's good for our game, but I'm saying for Jeremy's game, it's dumb for him to pull Caitlyn off because then they're going to put up someone else.
I think from what I've gathered from what I've read about Jeremy and what he said, it's come out of his mouth. It seems that Jeremy would probably think about himself, and if he's going to, he would rather risk Aaron going home than pull off Caitlyn and make themselves a bigger
Hopefully,
part.
because if Caitlyn stays on, if Caitlyn gets pulled off the block, Helen might put Howard up, and then the house will vote Howard out.
I don't think Helen's that stupid.
She's not going to put up Gina Marie, and that's who they need to put up, right?
Oh, that crazy Gina Marie.
I think that
so crazy.
I
can't wait to see the crying montage that's going to happen.
Oh my God, I've never seen anyone cry like that after someone gets convicted. Even I waited until after the H were made. I was engaged to Brendon.
At least you'd kissed him, right? At least you'd already kissed him. You'd already held hands, right?
Come on, you don't want to do pinky kiss? Come on, do a pinky kiss with me.
I think then, Brendon, that must mean, and Rachel, that you didn't watch the crying Gina Marie mashup video that we did do. You guys need to.
The last one?
Yes, the last one with the whole Gina Marie crying.
Really good.
Well, now wait. Before we get too far off, Jeremy, I need to ask Brendon a question because Rochester guy, the head of your Brenchel army, wants to know this. He wants to know how you feel about the way Jeremy is treating Elissa.
Oh, I think Jeremy is treated. I think Jeremy has been completely disrespectful to all the girls in the house, and
including Caitlyn.
Yeah, including Caitlyn. And the way he acts is demeaning, it's debasing, it's misogynistic. And I talked about this with Rachel because, of course, we, having been on 2 shows via Twitter and all the other social outlets, I've gotten stuff where people have been like, "You treated girls bad on your season." I was like, "What?" And I talked to Rachel about this. So I was like, of course, her and I will get in arguments on Big Brother. I'm like, nobody really understands what it's like to try to play with 2 people in Big Brother and always try to keep yourself safe every week because it's very difficult and it's very stressful. But even, I was talking to her, even when I got in the fight with Kalia and Danielle on season 13, we're upset, but I was never getting to the point where I was like, screw you, you effing B word, and you know what I mean? And that's, Jeremy,
and you never took someone's hat and shoved it up your butt.
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
That was I can't believe they didn't air that.
I can't believe he didn't get in trouble.
He did. He did get in trouble.
What happened?
Well, they had to apologize. That was a fake apology.
Thank you. Yes, I agree. And
but wait, did what? Who stole? Yeah, but who was it? Shelly that stole Ben's your season, Rachel, and didn't she put him in the toilet? No, she's remember. Oh, you didn't know that?
She put him in the tank.
You didn't know that?
I knew that they put him in the tank in the top. Right?
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. I meant. I didn't mean
put him in a plastic bag, right?
Yes. And then she hit him up inside the camera.
I was about to go. Oh,
no, I meant.
You were worried about me.
Yeah, right?
Remember, we're like post-traumatic stress disorder. Too much stuff might send us back in time.
That's true.
I understand. I get it. Yes, Buttgate and Hatgate, and he was it was addressed, and he was told that if he probably didn't do this, then this would ensue. So that's why he kind of was waiting around a little bit, and he got called to the diary room 3 times. And then it was finally after the 3rd time where he finally pulled your sister to the side. I did get your sister getting her hat out of the storage room. And I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that part?
I read it. She just was... She
was disgusted or something?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
She smelt the hat.
Who wouldn't have? I think I would have smelt the hat too.
I think I would have been like, I don't want the hat back.
That's what I wrote.
Exactly.
I want to see the tag. I want to see the receipt. I don't care. I want to see the shipping from the label. But
Speaking of smelling,
Here.
speaking of smelling, when Gina Marie had Nick's underwear crying,
Oh my god!
I
Okay,
didn't see that one yet.
Weird.
right? So
So
I thought that when you leave, you take all your stuff with you in the bag. Why does she have his clothes? How is she wearing his hat, his shirt, his underwear? Did he leave it for her? Did she sneak in his bag?
Yeah, no, he left. He like, you know, she might have either borrowed them. I don't know if they were actually underwear or if they were just his running shorts. They kind of look like regular shorts to me.
Either way, it's straddled there, right? I mean,
I have a question for you
I
guys.
want nothing to do with anything that's straddling anything over there.
Yeah.
You guys watch obviously a lot. So, what is the deal with Nick always making passes at Andy? I've been reading about. Does anybody understand that?
Here is what I have heard. Andy is like super smart. Yeah, not Andy. Nick is super smart. He went to Yale. Both of his parents were like teachers. So he's like really smart and didn't want to come off that smart. So he decided to be quiet. Number one. The whole Gina Marie thing, he was loyal to the moving company, and he knew he would cut her off down the line. So he says, in order to spare her feelings, he didn't want to, like, hold her hand, kiss her, or do too much for when he let her go later. I don't really think that he's gay. I joke around that he's gay, but I don't really think in real life he's gay.
Okay. I was wondering if he was just doing that to, like, I don't know if he thought it was gonna help his game with Andy or I don't know, but it was funny because every time I never really saw it, but I would read it on the Joker's updates, and all the updates sounded like Andy was like, "What is going on?" You know.
So Brendon, Rachel, who do you guys, since you're here, aside Elissa, because we've already said in our first episode, I think across the board we all want Elissa to go as far as she can. But if we removed Elissa from the equation, who do you guys think has a good chance of going really far in the game, the way it's set up with this whole new MVP twist?
I think as long as Howard can stay off the block, I think he can go really far. I mean, he's kind of now got this whole scandal with the whole lying thing, but I think he could.
No, mine is I look at all the crosshairs going.
Sure.
I look at all the crosshairs, and the person that's like right on the outskirts of all the crosshairs is Judd. Right now.
Yeah, well, Judd will probably be final.
Why would you get rid of Judd? He's a nice guy. Everybody likes him. He's not really that competitive. He hasn't really won anything. Howard and Spencer just lied, and that's been blown up on one side.
And McCrae for this house is far too aggressive in the HOH comps.
Well,
Far too
nobody trusts Amanda because she runs her mouth to everybody in the house, and they're gonna want her out. And McCrae is right next to her, so he's gonna get out via her.
Yeah, and for these competitions, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, McCrae is a competition. He's too good at competitions. He's winning stuff." So for this house, with all these girls in power, they're going to have a problem with McCrae. McCrae will get it out. I think Judd for sure and Jessie, because she's like a floater too.
Yeah.
Unless they just need to get rid of someone one week, they're not going to get rid of Jessie. Jessie will go before Judd. And then I think Candace will go pretty far. I foresee Elissa, Helen.
No, because the girls don't like Candace.
No, just only Caitlin and Aaron, and if Aaron's gone this year.
Gina Marie.
That's right. Gina Marie. What was that disgusting bed incident? Oh my God. If that doesn't make
Bedgate?
Bedgate.
Bedgate number 3.
That should be, I hope that is on Sunday's episode.
I'm sure.
Flipping up the bed, Candace.
And then Gina Marie getting in her face saying she's going to smack the black out of her. If I was Candace, I would have smacked the white out of Gina Marie.
See, that's the whole thing with Staten Island, New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Smack the orange out of
self-tanner off.
She was going to, listen, in all honesty, the joke would be, I'm going to slap the rest of the lines in place off of the self-tanner that's ran.
Just slap her cheap extensions off her head, like.
Yeah, I should have said that.
There's actually a tally sheet of how bad her extensions are looking from day to day. It's pretty funny.
Oh my God,
Gross.
I know, but you know, you were in there with extension, so you know that it's going to probably be hard to keep something like that up without having the maintenance stuff that you need to have. And she had all her crap taken from her. She had 80% of her crap taken from her, so that's not going to help her out at all.
That still leaves like 30 pounds of makeup, though.
No, they got to take it all away because she lost all her endorsements.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait.
Her and Aaron and now
Spencer.
apparently Spencer have all lost their jobs. Spencer doesn't have any endorsement deals, but Aaron and Gina Marie
Spencer's
did.
in a union, so no matter what he says.
No,
Wait.
he's done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He really is done.
The union said he's done?
Well, yeah, they released something after TMZ released something, and then they said that, yeah, we're definitely going to fire him. Like, we're getting everything negotiated now to fire him. There's just certain things, like he's talking about drugs so much that they have to say, hey, listen, even if you didn't do it, you're implying that you did something, and we have to say that you might have taken the safety of all these people that are working the railroad with you into your own hands, and we can't have that. So it's like conduct unbecoming, and you don't have to have any other basis but conduct unbecoming, and you can be fired for it.
Really?
Government.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for Spencer because doesn't he have kids?
No, not that I know of.
Little
I
Nazis.
thought he had kids. Well,
Maybe. I mean,
I wish
I'm
Spencer,
sorry.
of all the people in preseason, I thought Spencer was going to be the lovable Adam one.
Me
Yeah.
too!
Nope.
Gingerbeard, come on!
Yeah.
How
I
can you
thought
not
he
love a
was gonna be the one that
Gingerbeard?
everyone would be like, oh, he's so cute and funny, and just say, like, even in the beginning with the feeds, he was like, oh yeah, I take all my dates to Applebee's, and everyone was like, oh, that's so funny, but like, I thought he was gonna be that guy, and then now it's like, he's horrible.
Yeah, Applebee's happy hour. You should have read between the lines.
Yeah, I think that, you know, Spencer painted his own picture pretty well for all of us once he started talking on the late night feeds.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah.
Erin is just disgusting. Like, and the worst part about her is she has no remorse. Like,
She's ignorant.
No self-cognition.
yeah.
She has no self-awareness whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right, and then Gina Marie is just,
I think that Gina Marie could have came off a lot better if she didn't get sucked into what Caitlin referred to as the black hole of cattiness. And she, and, you know,
Why does it gotta be black?
Yeah, why's it gotta be black?
It's always got to be that way, you know? Like, you know, like, I just think that Gina Marie, the way that she sometimes tells me that she has a lot of things that were going really well for her that she was happy about, but when she got into that place, she went into that miserable place that you guys know that sometimes you get yourself sucked into out there, and then it's just very hard to pull yourself out. She thought that pulling herself out might have been with Nick, the time that she spent canoodling with him, but it didn't bring her any game presence, and she's just now sucked into this whole hate mode. She's very nice to the people. I mean, she refers to everyone as honey and sweetheart and this and that and thank you and please. Her manners are on point. It's when she starts to curse and then she goes off and then the New York comes out in her and I'm going to smack you and I'm going to cut your throat and I'm going to do this. And it's like, no,
But I'm sorry, I'm catty, I'm gay, and I'm a comedian, and if I was laying there and someone said, oh, she should go get me a bowl of rice, I'd be like, what the hell is your problem? Like,
me too.
there's a level of cattiness, and then it's just like, whoa, 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 that you stepped a level too far kind of thing.
Right, or I would seriously, like, say something to these people. If I was in that house, I would have already pulled like 10 Rachels and gone off on Aaron. Oh my God, I would love
That's
to have.
what I want to see. That's
Oh,
what
and
Seriously.
I would have been up in Jeremy's face like a year before
Yeah, okay.
the
Exactly.
This season of Big Brother is unlike any other season I've ever seen. Between the feeds, the people being fired in real life, they don't even know how racist this cast is.
Yeah.
It is killing Big Brother for me a little bit, honestly.
Me too. And until Helen won HOH this week, Brendon and I were like, if something doesn't happen, we're not, like, it's so hard to watch, and the way they're treating Elissa. In the first 2 weeks, when everyone was like, I'm going to stab Elissa, I'm going to kill her, I hope she gets killed, I hope fuck her son.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy was saying
like,
threats about her son.
Yeah, he said stuff about Elissa's son. Like, I called production, like, probably 4 times that week. I was like, you guys cannot let these people talk about my sister like that. And I was like, And I talked to them, and I was like, you know what? They might say this stuff. I'm like, but Gina Marie might actually go and hit Elissa. Like, she's that girl that might actually go hit Elissa.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. Jeremy's probably not going to hit a girl, but Gina Marie might. And you just don't ever know.
Yeah, I think that you might be right on that. I think that I think the level that Gina Marie would have to go after your sister is different than the level that she would have to go after like Candace or Jessie. I really feel that she has more disdain for, you know, like Candace and Jessie, and she has respect for Elissa because she's had several other conversations. So I kind of want to say that your sister is probably safer with Gina Marie than probably any of the other chicks that if she was left with the bad side and dark side, that Gina Marie would be. Yeah, the whole Gina Marie thing just bothers the hell out of me because I know I would be a bull in a china shop in there too, and I would go after each one of them physically. I would just be confrontational, but I don't think that I would like. I think that
you wouldn't take it that extra
But you
step.
would never degrade people. See, that's the difference.
No, I would just go up and punch them in the throat.
Yeah, and the difference between
Please degrade me first, okay?
Right? I feel like always when people play Big Brother with the personal stuff, like I hate it anyways, but I know I've probably said personal stuff. I'm not perfect. But the thing is like it's way different to say something personal about someone that's like they're so fat or oh whatever, you know, like I can't stand that bitch. But then like the level that these girls take it to is just so unbeknownst. Like
It's a whole new level of hatred.
What would you do? Like, what would you do if you were production and you had an option? Would you flat out remove them from the cast?
So personally, I told Rachel this. I think sometimes that U.S. Big Brother doesn't step in when they need to, and like we saw with Big Brother Canada, they were calling people left and right for cheating. And in our season, like in our season 12, I found out afterwards that Enzo was eating the whole time we were have-nots. I was a have-not for 2 weeks. You know, I didn't eat once, and I dealt with all the crappiness that comes with it. So I think at some point Big Brother US needs to step in and say enough is enough, make an example of somebody, and tell them this is not okay. Because while while it's a social experiment and while they're able to watch us 24/7, just let us go on our own. They're still airing it on national television. It's still a public forum, you know. So while they're not condoning it by any means, and they're presenting it on their shows to bring it to light. That's good and all. But again, I feel like in the United States right now, especially with the Paula Deen thing and all this other racism that's going on, is we want to crucify people. Which, okay, I get it, and I think that's great, but we're still not working towards a solution that is actually going to effectively solve this problem.
Yeah,
that's what the bigger picture is that all of us are a little bit of racist, have a little bit of stereotyping, a little bit of but we should never be allowed to discriminate. And I think within this house, that's what's been going on. They've been freely discriminating against people, and nobody, other than a couple light apologies, nobody's really been held accountable except outside the house. So, and that's...
So what would you do?
I think they should give them, penalty nominations.
Thank you.
Because I think, I don't think they should remove them from the game, because what are they going to do? Like, they're going to remove Aaron, Jeremy, Caitlin, Spencer, all... Right. If they remove everyone from the game, where's Big Brother? Where's the game? But I think they should say you're going to get a penalty nomination if you make a racist remark. If you say something homophobic, you're going to get a penalty nomination. And I think that they should come over the Big Brother loudspeaker and say, you are not allowed to make racist and homophobic remarks.
Well, I think they did that with Spencer, because when Andy sat down, Amanda came over. I think this was 5-6 days ago, and Amanda said, "What's the name of your boyfriend again?" And before he could answer, Spencer said, "Faggot."
Oh, was that Spencer or Jeremy?
What?
It was Spencer, and then the Big Brother called him into the diary room, and there was no more talk about it. But I think, as far as all the stuff that's going on...
Wait, I thought Jeremy was the one that said that.
Yeah, I thought on the feed, or on the Joker's...
Was it Jeremy, or I thought it was Spencer?
I think it was Jeremy, and then they called Jeremy to the room, and then...
That's right.
They came back to the diary room, and they came back, and Jeremy had to start a conversation about gay rights. And
That's
about,
totally uncoerced.
Yeah.
It was him on his own.
But then I feel like that's good though. Like they should if they make a comment like that, call them the diary room.
Or you know what? Hey, let's throw up those. Remember season 12? We had the what are they called?
House meetings.
No. I'm talking about the old school, the things that they put you in the
stockades.
Oh, the stocks.
Bring those back. Throw them in the back.
My God, if they had the stocks and they made, anytime you made a racist remark, you had to sit 60 minutes in the stocks, or anytime you had a homophobic or misogynistic remark, you had to sit 60 minutes in the stocks. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Aaron would be in there for like the rest of the time with your brother.
Where did you go to school? What school is this?
What?
Right?
No, it wasn't school. It was their season, John Richardson.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, you thought that we did that in school? No.
Unless you went to Catholic school like me, John, it's not,
I was like,
acceptable
wow.
anymore.
I thought it was Catholic.
No, nobody went to Catholic school?
Yeah, no,
I did. I went 12 years.
No, but oh my God, that would seriously be. We should start tweeting that because if they would put them in the stocks like they did on season 12 for any time, because that's like right? That whenever
that's the whole idea about being in the stockades is that the whole community is supposed to go and see you, and you're supposed to be embarrassed, and you'll have tomato and bread thrown at you. What I really think is what they should do, and this is something that they can either keep on a tally screen on the TV in the living room, is that they get spoken to, and each time they get spoken to, and then it's almost like a demerit thing, and then once they reach, like, let's say 3 times they get spoken to about something that they've done that has crossed the actual PC lines, is that they get their ability to vote taken away from them. The one thing that they have power in the House.
That's
they don't care about being nominated.
What? But then what would they do if you're like the HOH that week or something? You know what I mean? Because I think they can't affect the game too much.
Well, that's what Big Brother wants. They don't want to give anybody an upper hand by pulling something out from under somebody else. So something like the stockade actually might be not a bad idea, right?
Because the stockade, because that sucked. Like, we would have to wake up.
It doesn't affect the game, but
they would tell you, they would ring the bell, and like even when Brendon or I were HOH, they would ring. I was HOH. They rang the bell at like 6 a.m. and I had to go out there for like 2 hours.
No, an hour.
An hour at a time and stay in the stockade.
Yeah.
And I had the longest because my dumb butt decided to like wait it out against my name, like that was gonna do anything.
And if your plan worked, Michelle, and I was playing that game, I would just walk, like I would get close to Jeremy and be like, "Frig it." Jeremy said it. Jeremy said it. I would
blame someone else.
He's losing his chance to vote.
It turns out the secret ventriloquist is the best
friend. That's what I would do. All right, we have 2 quick questions that we need to ask you guys from Twitter. One is from Bethany Buck, and she wants to know, after winning MVP again, Elissa put up Spencer instead of Howard, and do you guys think it was smart? Which we kind of already talked a little bit about.
I think it's better she put up Spencer over Howard. And on top of it, I think, like, Spencer, you can't trust him in the game. Like, regardless of, like, the stuff outside the house, like, not a big fan, but you can't trust him inside the game. So putting up Spencer is way smarter. Howard, they could use Howard as an ally. They need a guy. You know, you can't win, especially being a female, you can't win against all these physical males. Like, are you kidding me? If they're doing one of those barbecue sauce competitions again or something, like the ropes thing, like what Brendon won, I can't win that against Brendon, you know? They need a guy on their side, and I think it's dumb for them to target Howard, and that was 100% Amanda, because Amanda wants Howard gone, so McCrae is safe. Because Amanda, we could talk about her for hours, too. This one, I go back and forth. I like her, I hate her, I like her, I hate her. I don't know what to think about her. But I know Brendon has his opinions about her, too.
Well, back to the initial question before she spiraled off.
Sorry.
So I do think it was a very good choice for her to put up Spencer, because Howard is somebody that is a lot closer to their side. And while he did flip-flop on his vote, he thought he was being really smart and tactful, but he admitted to it, which obviously wasn't the best tact. So at least he's thrown it out there. He's going to deal with the consequences. I think he's a man of God, so I'm not going to lie. I'd be pulling the little God strings with Howard if I needed to and make him feel guilty if he's lying to me about anything. So I think in the end, Howard's going to be a better decision than Spencer.
Benz agrees.
Benz agrees.
Spencer can go home, and it's
if Spencer goes home, it doesn't affect the game at all.
Well, it helps them.
It helps them, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Spencer's the only person I could see realigning with Jeremy is Spencer.
And also, when you have to, so in the house, most people will have one other person that they really, really, really want to trust. Whether they completely do or not, it doesn't matter. But they're the one person in the house they're going to trust the most. Howard is Spencer's person, and vice versa. So if Spencer does end up leaving, that's better for the good side because Howard's not going to be listening to any of the girls or the guys on the other side of the house because he doesn't have Spencer anymore.
They could have just called this season Good versus Evil.
Well, that's it. You do know that Spencer was the one that came up with the plan to split the vote and say, hey, vote Elissa out. We want them to make not worry so much about the numbers so much.
Yeah.
It was Spencer. It wasn't Howard.
That's what we thought.
We thought that it was Spencer, but we
know.
didn't know. We couldn't figure it out, and I'm hoping they'll show that on Sunday because from us, like we were going back and reading it, and I was like, why would Spencer or why would Howard vote to evict Elissa, especially if he knew everyone was keeping her? That just makes no sense. And then I thought that that's what they were doing. I thought that they were trying to split the vote up.
Yeah, he's lying about this whole Amanda thing and this issue that he's having Amanda. Now that's just created another obstacle, and Amanda's like, that's why now she wants Howard out because he's using Amanda as a crutch to still deny, even though he was saying that he came clean. He really didn't.
Well, no, he came clean and then started telling more lies. So it was
pretty funny, yeah.
You're like, come on, you're already out there. Why don't you just,
Do we think Amanda now believes that he's a pizza boy or a secret billionaire genius still?
No, they had the word delivery in the last competition, so overnight delivery, his one-on delivery.
Does Amanda really know?
No, I think she still thinks he's a secret billionaire now. I don't think she thinks he's just a pizza boy, which is always so funny to me because they're such an awkward pair, but I love them together. I think they're the cutest pair of the showmances, especially in this season. But see, this is my thing with Amanda. Sometimes I want her to stop because I feel like she digs her own grave.
But she overdoes
by talking too much and by overdoing it. And then sometimes I'm like, talk more, Amanda, because she needs to be more outspoken.
Well, so I thought from the first thing I saw about her when she was doing her airline stewardess voice, and it was funny, and I liked it. But we were watching it on live feeds, and she reminded me of the person where it was funny, but then kept going and going and going, and people were like, okay, it was funny.
I know.
10 minutes ago.
I think if I was on that season,
and that's pushing too much.
Yeah. She would definitely, that was a lot. But I think if I was on that season, I would align with Amanda for a lot of different reasons.
I wouldn't trust Amanda. I would never trust Amanda.
I would only trust her if I was, in the McCrae-Amanda alliance.
Amanda is a slightly smarter version at gameplay than Andy. Because they're both about the same.
I definitely think so.
They're both going to go to wherever they need to go. To try to suck up and be cool with everybody, but she's just a little bit better. Andy just is flopping all over the place. Come on, it's so obvious.
Wait, what I wanted to know from you guys, Brendon, Rachel, what did you think of, and I think this was the first time ever, of the whole you played in a pair for HOH?
I hated that. Why did they do that? I don't know, I hate when they have team HOHs or pair HOHs because you never know if the person that you're playing with is playing as hard as you. And for the life of me, I don't know what they were thinking to do that the second week. Brendon and I played HOH Veto, but we're married, so clearly we're going to try to do whatever we can to
but
win.
the whole theme was pairs going into the show. It wasn't it
was a duo.
Surprise, so.
And I don't know, because Andy made it on camera sound like in the DR he was trying really hard to win, but then I also heard him tell Aaron that he threw it so that Jeremy could win, and then I also heard him tell Elissa that he couldn't stand Jeremy and Aaron and that he would have done whatever it took to win, but that Elissa, he was trying, Elissa needed to hurry up or something.
He's playing Aaron.
Yeah.
Well, I think Andy really is Team Elissa because he did run around and at the end of the day do a lot of rallying for votes.
For Elissa, he did.
So I think anything else that he's saying to the other side is just kind of, you know, trying to keep himself safe. But speaking of Elissa, we have another and our last Twitter question for you. Actually, it's from Facebook. It's from the Night Owl, and I love it. Rachel, she wants to know, did you give your sister any taglines going into the house that she should say?
No, I should have. I told her to think of her own, but I don't know. I told her going into the house, I told her to tell people she was my sister, to win the first HOH. I told her to be best friends with the showmance because if she's best friends with the showmance, she'll always be the less of the target. And then I told her to make an all-girls alliance and to go after the strong boys first. And what else did I tell her? I told her to win every competition, but she didn't listen to that. So.
Well, she said on that first episode that you told her not to win the first HOH, not to tell anybody she's your sister, and so she has been telling people the opposite of your advice. Yeah. So maybe she's just gaming them.
No, Rachel, because before this even happened, I told her I told Rachel, I said, make sure, because Rachel was doing all the talking to coaching for Elissa before she went on, and I was like, look, I said, you need to tell your sister to tell everybody, A, she looks like you. So it's going to take them about an hour, maybe two, to suggest that she's your sister. So it's pointless. And I'm like, and as soon as that happens, they're going to accuse her of being a liar, and the first week, they pretty much look for any reason to put anyone up. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's the smallest reason, the largest reason, they'll put you up. So I told her, I'm like, don't, address it right off the bat so you don't have to deal with that. And then when I told Rachel, I was like, her sister is not her. Her sister is not Rachel. She's not going to be dominating competition. She's not going to be winning things. We thought she might be able to do endurance competitions, but that still kind of remains to be seen. So in the end, I told Rachel, I was like, your sister has the best shot admitting to it and then laying low till the very end. Because if she can float. We don't like floaters, but she's not going to be dominating competition. So
we did tell her though that if she can play the game, this is my advice to her. I said if you could play the game, like a mix between me and Jordan, that you can go really far. So I said if you could be like Jordan had really good social games.
Two opposite players.
Two complete opposites.
There's no.
But
that explains it. That explains everything.
I got it.
I got it too. It all came together.
Yeah. She doesn't finish her sentences. She stops in the middle of them. She has a conversation and then makes like she forgets what she's talking about. I got it now. We know the gameplay.
Thank you, Rachel.
Let her sister come off as ditzy or.
Yeah, we did tell her to be ditzy. I said take a page out of the Tala from Big Brother Canada handbook. I said, she's adorable and made it to Final Four. And I was like, but you need to win competition.
Yeah.
I think Rob Sesternino, who I know you guys like, he had the most brilliant entrance strategy for Elissa that none of us thought of. She should have went in saying she was a Rachel impersonator. And that's what she should have done. And then that might have taken some of the stress away.
That's funny. That would have been good.
Mm-hmm.
I told her to go in and make fun of me and say that she's my sister, but go in and say like, I'm here, bitches, or try to like make a joke out of it, because I was like, then people, once you make fun of it and like make fun of your sister, then people are going to be like, oh, she's cute, or oh, it's not a big deal, you know? Because I feel like laughter always clears the air, but she didn't listen to that.
She's doing good now. She's doing much better now, and now she knows that. Yeah, and now she knows that people are like, she knows the whole using him for MVP, and now she's having her own vote. I think your sister has a sick ass body, and unbelievable. And like I see them having a comp, and we all know production does like to tailor some comps to some people, and I kind of think that we're going to see her on like a on like either a trampoline or something and having to balance and touch your head.
Whoever can
Some sort of
balance
contortion thing, you know.
You
She
mean
might
like
have-
the mobile one? The mobile
No, that wasn't
mobile?
her. She had to physically use something else to do it. She needs to use her own body. So I see her doing well in like either one of those lean-to competitions and lean forward. Whether she'll be able to hold on and being cold, that's another thing.
Does she have small feet? Does she have small feet though?
Rachel.
Okay.
Small feet!
Mm.
Yeah, small feet. Well,
Yeah.
I think if they want Elissa to win something, they should just go out there and say who can hold the yoga pose the best.
Well, that's just it. They're going to incorporate something to where that she'll be able to contort her body into all different avenues to relieve the pain that everybody else is going through. So
Exactly.
I do see that.
Who can be in downward dog for the longest?
You know, her competition on that. In all honesty, her competition on that would probably be Gina Marie.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No.
Hey-oh!
Nobody.
Sorry, joke.
No. Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
I think with all that's going on with the craziness in the house, I also do think that there is a certain amount of maybe concern we need to think about after the fact. Because as much as bad as these people have been behaving, like I can't imagine what they're going to deal with once they get out of the house, you know?
I know.
And I think sometimes, like somebody like Gina Marie, especially Gina Marie, I see as somebody who has a lot of psychological trauma and probably in her past, and has a lot of issues that she needs to deal with. And I you know, as somebody who's been on reality television, I know afterwards it can be a very, very heavy mental load. And so I am a little concerned for these people. As much as angry as they make me, I don't think so much Erin, because I think she's going to deny everything till the day she dies.
Mhm.
I think somebody like Gina Marie is going to need some help afterwards, and that is kind of my concern.
I think so too. And
And
Spencer,
of
because like
course, you know?
his mom went out and tried to speak for him on his behalf, and like if he's really getting fired from his job, he's married for sure.
No, babe.
I'm
He's talking about
confident.
he's talking about having sex with
Marilyn
girls.
is his girlfriend. Marilyn, which might be they're all saying it's the fake like football guy, the Tyso or whatever the guy, the
Yeah.
Tyso.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not sure about Marilyn, you know.
Oh, okay. Because I thought he was married and I thought he had kids, and then I
No,
was like,
he's
holy
like-
crap.
He's talking about hooking up with girls and how
Well, in
to
that
pay.
case, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Hooking up with white girls.
Yeah,
Well,
I got a question.
I
got a
do
question.
think.
Wait,
Oh, go
hold on,
ahead.
Chelsea.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
How will your relationship with your sister change once she comes out of the house?
That's a really good question. I think that our relationship with Elissa is going to be a lot better. I think she now is going to understand what Brendon and I went through 2 years in a row and what it's like to play Big Brother. And I think that our relationship after the show is going to be even stronger. And also, I don't know, it's weird, but like watching her on TV and on the live feeds and stuff, I feel like I'm getting to know my sister all over again. And like, it's a whole different way of getting to know your friend. I mean, that sounds weird, but like,
No, I get it.
yeah, and I love her. Like, I feel like I'm so proud of her, and also like my heart goes out to her. Like when she cries, I cry. When she's happy, I'm happy. And like, I also like, I'm so proud of her for being able to, you know, well, first of all, pull off game moves that I myself could not have pulled off.
I could.
Okay, well, Brendon could have, but I don't think I could have pulled off getting Nick evicted over myself.
Oh, I couldn't.
No. And then, on top of it, I'm so proud of her for sticking up for what she believes in and for making her own decisions, and also for like just being she's so sweet in there, and the friends that she's making are very genuine, and everything that she's doing, I feel like it's such a hard season because those girls are so catty. I would have totally gone off on them. I would have like already probably, I would have won the first HOH if I didn't win the first one, the second one, and then I would have been like, guess what, bitches? You guys are all nominated because I hate you, Gina Marie. And like, I'm a little more spicy, but it's nice to see Elissa is spicy, but in like a whole different way. Like, I feel like it's kind of cool because we're so different, but we're also a lot alike. Does that make sense?
Yes.
For me, I have a lot of respect for her because she's gone on and she's really shown that she's a very, very nice and very caring person, and she's one of the few people in the house I feel like actually stood up to these people when they were saying all this horrible crap. and everybody just kept their mouth shut. And so I actually have a lot of respect for Elissa, and I'm very proud of her. I think she's made great game moves, and I even said it on Twitter like a couple of days ago. It's like, you know, whether you like her or not, if you're going to talk about MVP, the MVP has gotten out 2 weeks in a row, 2 very strong players, and managed to save himself while they were on the block. So aside from what you think about her as a person, she's actually made good game moves.
And she's getting these players out that would be really bad for her game and for Helen's game. And so the fact of the matter is, Elissa broke up the moving company, and she's making strong moves. And so people that are talking about who has the best game, oh, Elissa doesn't, it's not fair. Well, when you look at the cards, you know, you have to play Big Brother the way that you're dealt the cards. And she's been given the MVP 2 weeks in a row. And 2 weeks in a row, she broke up a huge showmance, and then she broke up a moving company. So she broke up 2 alliances her first 2 weeks of Big Brother.
Well, and stuck up for all the comments that were being said as well.
Exactly, and stuck up for all the comments. And she's been able to form a really, really, really strong relationship with Helen and Andy. And then they're pulling Candace in. But, like, the relationship I see Elissa that she's building with Candace and Helen, they're, or not Candace and Helen, sorry, Candace and Andy. And now, wait, Helen and Andy, and now Candace. You guys know what I'm saying. Sorry. The relationship that Elissa's built with Helen is going to last for after Big Brother for sure, for the lifetime. But then the relationship she's built with them for as far as the game, like Andy, Helen, and Candace will never vote Elissa out. You know what I mean? Like, she's made these really strong relationships with people that are going to help her in the game.
I think to play devil's advocate a little bit, I think we need to give credit to you guys. Definitely Elissa is the one deciding who goes up, and amazing that, yes, she can do that. But I think credit has to go to you guys a little bit too, because I think it is Brenchel Army fans and everything a lot that are rallying behind.
That's actually good.
We appreciate the Brenchel Army fans so much. Yeah, thank you, America, and thank you, Brenchel Army fans, for making Elissa MVP 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, we're so excited. Honestly, like, the fact that you guys have enough faith in Elissa and that you love her so much is an honor. It really is an honor.
Yeah. I mean, because I, you know, even thinking about it, all Elissa really had to do was get in a couple fights with these crazy girls that were saying horrible things to her the first week, but she didn't. You know, she kept her mouth shut, and I told Rachel, I was like, all she has to do is say nothing and look like an angel, because these people are so evil. And thank God that the rest of the house started to see it, you know? And I mean, little by little has seen it. And it's only gotten worse, you know? So.
I think everyone is seeing now, like, because Aaron had that fake, like, I'm Southern and I'm cute and blonde. And so people
that's why I'm
like,
allowed to be racist.
Yeah, so people were like, oh, it's just Aaron. But now I think they're finally starting to see that she's, like, evil. Like, I seriously think she's like her.
She's like Klaus Barbie, more like it.
Oh man.
I
Peter.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, God, I can't even imagine thinking those things, like, about any race of people, about anyone. Like, the homophobic comments are so disgusting and stupid. And, like, you know what really made me mad too was that you guys got, like, the DOMA was approved or denied. Was it? Sorry.
DOMA was struck down.
That's right. Okay, sorry.
We don't really get it either.
So you guys know what I'm saying. Anyways, it's legal now to get married, and everyone can get married, and then the same week.
To some extent. We won't get into the actual political.
Well, whatever. Without the politics.
Right.
I was so happy when that happened. Like, that was such a big achievement and, like, such a big history maker as an American and as a people. You know what I mean? Like, it was so exciting. And then to hear these homophobic comments, it was just horrible. Like, it was just disgusting. It just made me so upset that people could still think that when we're making so many strides to make everyone, to have equality and to make everyone, like, equal and to be able to do things that they want to do. And then to have these stupid people on fucking Big Brother talk shit, like, it just was so disappointing.
Well, and then, so even with Big Brother, it's like, Rachel and I talked about this, is when you're in the house, there's things that, you know, all of us say, and that's what I'm saying is, and we're not that innocent, and we're not hypocrites, because I'm able to identify the stuff that I know sometimes I'll say isn't correct. You know, and sometimes we grow up saying certain words. Like the word that caught me was, when we were in Big Brother, is retarded. And while to me, you know, I grew up, had friends saying it, and we never meant it necessarily in a derogatory term, but even in Big Brother, when we would say it, we're realize that we're saying it and say, hey, there's people watching this, there's people that have handicapped family members, you know, relatives,
Right.
so you got to be aware of that and stop yourself and say, look, like,
But who uses the F word? Nobody.
Well, I'm saying
I say
I
fuck
do.
all the time. What do you mean?
I mean, not the fuck word.
I know.
Well,
I
I think it's even how you use it, right? Like, I mean, if you're using it just kind of lightly, where it's like retarded or whatever, the way Erin's using it, the
like
meaning's
to her.
different.
it's the
It's
most
Exactly.
way you can use
And
it.
then there's no responsibility, no accountability, no nothing. So I think that makes
And that's what I kind of think about is the sad thing is as a country, maybe as a world even, it's like we need to start looking at the bigger picture and realize that this is a problem that everybody has. And we live in LA where everybody, as much as diverse as it is, it's still very segregated. And people tend to stay in their own communities. And that is the problem nowadays, is that people don't interact enough with people outside of their own culture. And so now and the internet's making it very easy, the media's making it very easy, so you don't have to interact with people. And that, I think, is also a source of where it comes from, is that we don't step outside of our comfort zone.
It comes from uneducated idiots like Erin.
Well, it's people that are scared and ignorant, and ignorance comes out of the inability to step across that boundary line and experience other cultures and other people and understand that, hey, they're like me, they're just a different color, or they.
And I just want someone to go to Erin and say, like, what gives you the right to say these things anyways? Like, why are you even thinking these things? And, like, when Amanda stood up to her, I liked a lot of the stuff that she said, but I wish she would have been even more like, listen, like, you can't say that. Like, bottom line, you shouldn't be thinking it. You can't say it. And she did it in a way that I know she's playing a game, whatever. I've read all her dad's tweets. It's a game.
You know what? Just drop Erin off at our house. I'm going to take her down to South LA.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you guys are saying. I think it's intention. I think your intention behind what you're saying really matters. And I think a lot of them are saying it for the wrong reasons. And what I will also say is, and I can't believe these words are going to vomit out of my mouth, I feel a little bad for Erin, because I feel like she's the scapegoat in a way for all of it on the show. Because it's not just her. It is.
No, I agree. You're right. She's the She's the forefront of all the pictures, of all the wording, of all the everything. Is Erin. I agree. I think that Brendon and I were talking about that, and how when you read articles, it's like Erin, and then it's a picture of her. But it's not just Erin. It's Erin and Gina Marie and Caitlin and Spencer. And, I mean, who else knows what other people had said? And, like, I don't know. I hope that Sunday show...
It was Jeremy, it was David, it was a lot of people. That,
Jeremy. Jeremy said, oh, my God. I don't know why I forget about him all the time.
Yeah. He just says misogynistic things. That's okay.
Right. But when you're a pretty racist, you're going to be on the cover. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How did you feel about how Julie Chen, her expressions on the live eviction show and her question to Aaron, and then Aaron didn't get any HOH questions, which we know that Julie was probably never going to ask her anything.
Right, I love that. Well, first of all, I never got any HOH questions myself, so I always wondered, did Julie
Yeah.
But then I liked that Julie kind of said, like, she was kind of sassy about it. Like, she's like, oh, we all hear what you say, Erin. All of America knows or whatever. And then her expressions. And my favorite expression of Julie's face the entire night was when Helen won HOH. And Julie was like, I mean, that was, like, priceless. That could not have happened any better. I know Julie was, like, probably on the edge of her seat. And I mean, because Julie, you know, she roots for the people that she likes. And clearly, like, I mean, you can't be a host on that show and not root for certain people. You know, and clearly it was, like, Good really literally did overcome evil. And Julie is obviously rooting for Helen and Elissa and Candace and Howard and Andy. You know, she's rooting for them. I would assume. But, yeah, you know, I mean, they're like, they're the ones I think everyone's rooting for. Everyone wants to see Helen win, and everyone wants to see Elissa win, and everyone wants to see Candace and Andy go far.
Well, we all like to see the underdogs.
My thing is, how is Julie going to do the interview?
Oh, good question. Well,
with a sheepish grin the
but
entire time.
What are they going to do after, too? Also, what are they going to do after Aaron's evicted and Julie does the interview and it goes back to normal life? Are they going to just allow Aaron to go back into the public? Like,
yes.
You think so? I don't think.
Think of all the people that have had like a real hard time. I mean, Michelle Noonan was set right out. Yeah, Michelle Noonan was set right out. Shelley was set right out. There have been many people that have just been let go, and that's something that that everybody says that like hey, there's no aftercare when you like have gone through something traumatic.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody's gonna kill somebody until they realize something.
Well, I mean, we've got a few
for themselves. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if Aaron doesn't, there's no hope for her now for anything.
The only thing is that she's going back to Texas. So I don't know if
she lives in a very liberal state. From my understanding,
okay.
From my understanding,
I don't think so. I think she's gonna have a problem getting a job. She's gonna have a problem going back to school. She's gonna have a problem, with people constantly seeing her, and they're gonna see her and they're gonna just be like, "Oh, you're that bitch from Big Brother. Or, you're that racist."
Yeah.
Right.
They're just gonna. I mean, the only thing she can do is either move to another country.
Alaska.
Or so, I mean, even Alaska though, they're gonna know like.
Hey, you're that racist.
That might be bad press.
She can now be on Life Below Zero.
Well, I mean, what is she gonna do though?
Everything's white here.
She's not gonna be. She's not gonna be able to do. No modeling is gonna. I mean.
No.
I half expect to see her in Playboy, but I'm not even sure that Playboy would accept her. So maybe Hustler or Penthouse.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that from my understanding, I know somebody that actually lives in the same city that she lives in, and that city is very liberal, and she would not get away with talking the way she's talking on the feeds.
I'm hoping she turns it around. Like, that's the only thing.
But like, now after Bedgate.
She's going to have sex with Howard. That's the only way to turn it around.
I don't think that's going to go over.
Howard would not do that level. Wait. It's way too hot for Aaron.
Good one, Brendon.
Yes, and I need to be clear. I don't mean turn it around like how to use it to her benefit. I mean, clearly she is in the forefront of this. She could do good with it in educating people. Like, hey, I was a super racist on TV, and this is how.
Okay, I
can date a black guy.
Or Pauline's hiring.
She needs to become a lesbian, and her girlfriend needs to be black.
No, she's never allowed. Her lesbian card is
and open up an Asian restaurant. She's got all her bases covered.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Brendon.
Thanks for watching us, guys. And you can follow us on Twitter at Rachel E. Riley.
And at Brendon V. BB12.
And we're married. Yay! Brenchel!
In case you forgot.
And thank you, America, for voting for Elissa for MVP so many times. We love you guys. We love Brenchel fans.
And please keep voting because she's doing a great job of putting up those people that need to get out of that.
And she's taking your nominations, America, and making sure that people are gone that we all want to see gone.
Yeah, thanks for all of the work that I have to go back now with the don't include this part that I have to go back and watch now.
Eric, bye. Wait, don't include this. Yeah. I'll see you later. Wait, don't include this part.
Okay, yay. All right, guys, we will see you on Twitter.
Bye.
Smile, you guys. Smile. Be happy.
Glad to meet you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We had a great time with Brendon and Rachel. Hope you enjoyed what we did. Take care. See ya.
Oh my God, so much fun talking with Brenchel. Is it Brenchel? Am I saying it right?
It's Brenchel.
Follow me on Twitter at Comedy Jonah. Thanks for watching.
Well, that about wraps up our show for this week, but I mean our Big Brother group recap. You guys know that we're bringing you our live feed breaking news shows. Whenever anything really good happens on the feeds, it's live on Google Hangouts, so you guys can watch live, ask us questions live. Hey, it's live. And I also brought back my Big Brother reality check show, where now I'm switching things up and I'm just doing comedic mashup videos of stuff that I found funny from the week. And apparently, by the reviews, you guys are loving it. So you can check all of that out right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, or over at yourrealityrecap.com. And if you head over to yourrealityrecap.com, you guys could enter our iPad bundle giveaway contest. We're also giving away free feed subscriptions and autographed pictures from the premiere party. Oh, look, I got them right here. Woo! See, I got a few. Don't worry. I got a few. And we actually give out our prizes. So, ooh, now they're blowing away. So, we have so much more in store for you guys, Big Brother related, this weekend. You already know the deal. We're also coming back Monday with a Housewives show. So, that's all for right now. Not even this week, just right now. We'll see you guys all soon, and bye for now.